Learners, we were discussing about the basics of computer lesson of data entry operations subject. We covered about what is computer, and then we discussed about what is the classification, what are the computer components. Then we discussed about what is hardware and software. Then also we discussed about the input devices, output devices, and the list of input devices and output devices. So we discussed in detail about each of the input devices and output devices, and at the end we were discussing about what is software, then classification of software. As we know, software, it is a collection of programs. So here the collection of programs I meant is the collection of set of instructions which we have given. So those set of instructions are collectively put it in software, and that software will be working on a hardware. So if I say a software, it may be an application software or it may be a system software. So what is mean by application software, what is meant by system software? So we will be discussing in detail. The software, it can be classified into two, that is system software and application software. The system software further classified into operating system and utilities, and the application software is further classified into generalized packages, customized packages. So first, what is system software? System software, it is a collection of programs that control the overall operation of the internal working of the computer system. It reads the data from the input devices and transfers the processed information to the output devices. So here we are saying that it's a collection of programs that controls the overall operation. So we can just imagine that in your computer, if you are not installed any software, I didn't install even an operating system, so how it will not be performing any work at all. So we need an operating system. So here the operating system is a system software. So when this operating system will control the hardware, and it will give you an interface, so where you will be able to see the screen and do the activities. So if the operating system is there, then only you will be able to work, or you will be able to install other softwares in that. So if I am having a Windows operating system, then I will be having some of the default softwares, like browsing software will be there, some of the basic softwares will be there. But if I want more softwares, then I have to install them correctly. So here there's operating system is and it's a system software. Next comes under utilities. So utility softwares are the compress softwares, like when you want to compress the files, we will be using zip, used to zip the files. So for that there are some softwares we will be using. So those softwares, compressed softwares and uncompressed softwares will come under the utilities category. So the operating system, it is a system software that provides an interface between the user and the hardware and enables them to work together. So I am the user, I want to work on the computer, so this operating system only will provide me an interface. So, so it gives the information that I can use the particular interface. So whatever I am choosing on that particular interface, that will be instructed to the computer. So and if I want to store some of the things, that will be instructed to the computer. So it that interface between me and the hardware, that enables them work together. So we can work together. So that has been provided by operating system only. So we know that some of the operating systems like Windows, Linux, we will be knowing Unix, also you might have heard, and Mac OS is also one of the operating system. Then next comes under the utilities. It performs the specific task usually related to managing the computer devices and programs. So for smooth functioning of the computer system. So as we discussed, the softwares like zipping the files or compressing the files, WinZip, 7-zip, flash drive softwares or antivirus softwares will comes under the utilities category. Next comes as application software. Application software, it is a set of programs which are written to perform specific tasks or the jobs like doing the calculations. If I want to perform some actions, if I want to do some set of for managing the library, I want to create a software. So what I will be doing, I will be first create a database, and I will say that what are the books are there, and who was the author, when it was published. So those details. They have taken the book, when they have returned the particular book, and the date of return, and whether they are returned or not. So those details I have to handle. So it is for just only for managing the library information. In the same way, we can think about the student database managed by the school, where the school will be handling the information about the student name, roll number, and their class in which they have studied, and what is their marks, and what was their last year performance and present year performance, and who are their teachers, and their parents details, their phone number, their address. So those informations will be put it in one particular information system. So when they want to retrieve some information about the particular student or a particular class student's details, then they can retrieve it from the software. So here that application software has been created only for the student's purpose. Or even if we take the example of library information system, it was just created for handling some particular library. It may not be the common for all the libraries which are available in India, even in whole world or something. It's not like that. It is a specific software for that particular institution or particular library. So here the application software, it can be further divided into two categories, that is generalized packages and customized packages. Generalized packages, it can perform many tasks to fulfill the user's general needs, such as preparing the documents, drawing the pictures, preparing the presentations, and playing the games. So some of the generalized packages are word processing software. The word processing software, it is used for preparing the documents. So we can take the example of OpenOffice softwares, OpenOffice.org Writer, or Microsoft Word, or WordPerfect. So these softwares are there. So these softwares will come under the generalized packages. So it can perform many tasks to fulfill the user's needs. So here if we say that it's preparing the documents, then I will go for the word processing software. If it is for drawing the pictures, then I will be using the different software. For preparing the presentation, as we most of us know that we will be using the presentation software. It may be Microsoft PowerPoint, or it may be OpenOffice.org Impress software. So we will be using the particular software. So this will come under the generalized packages. So like for presentation, we can use presentation graphics, MS PowerPoint, and OpenOffice.org Impress. For desktop publishing software, we can use CorelDRAW, Adobe InDesign. For database management system, we can use Oracle, FoxPro, then MS Access, OpenOffice.org Base, and the graphic tools like Paint, Adobe Photoshop, Dreamweaver, and all we can use. So these are the examples of generalized packages software. Next comes customized packages. These are the applications that are developed to meet the specific requirements of an organization of the institution. So example, Tally we can take, and reservation system, payroll systems, so those are customized. So here these are the applications that are developed to meet the specific requirements of an organization of the institution. Next comes computer languages. When we say computer language, the language which I am speaking, I know some set of people might be knowing, but if I want to speak to the computer, I should know what language the computer knows. Computer will not accept will not know any other language. It knows, it can understand only the zeros and ones. So the language which the computer understands, that we will call it as a low level language. So especially the machine language can be understood by the computer. So the machine languages consist of zeros and ones. So if I want to give instructions, I have to give it in the the combination of zeros and ones. So but it's difficult for me to understand what the zeros and ones meant. Just one is simple, one single zero and one single one will not give the proper command to the computer. So we should know how to give the instructions to the computer. So when human beings want to give the instructions to the computer, we can understand English. So what we have to do, we have to write the instructions in English, and that instructions can be converted and it can be translated in the form of zeros and ones so that the machine can understand. So there are two types of languages, are there: low level language and high level language. Low level language, in that machine language and assembly language will comes under. So the machine language, it is totally understood by the computer. It's difficult for us to even learn. Assembly language, those are where we will be using the mnemonics, like some keywords we will be using. So those keywords will be again converted to the machine language for passing the information to the machine. So even though these assembly languages are difficult for the human to write, but it's compared to machine language, we can use assembly language. But apart from using this low level language, we are having high level language. So in the high level language, we will be using the simple English commands. So we have given some of the examples like BASIC, COBOL, Fortran, C, C++, Java. So other programming, whatever the programming, C# also will comes under this. So any other programmings which are developed recently or something which a human can understand, that will come under the high level language. Here the instructions will be given in only English. So the English commands will be again converted and translated to a low level language, so that the computer will understand and it will be doing the operation which you are expecting. So next we are going to discuss about how we can convert the information, how the computer does the job. When you have written any program, first you will be compiling the program. So when you are compiling the program, what it happens, that the program which you have written, that program is called as the source program. The program generated by the compiler after the translation, after the compilation, is called the object program. So the object program will be understood by the computer. The software that reads the program written in the high level language and translate that high level language into an equivalent program in machine language is called as compiler. So the compiler does the job of converting from high level language to machine language. The program written by you as a programmer, that is called as the source program. The program generated by the compiler after converting from high level language to low level language, that is machine language, that is called object program. So in this diagram you can understand that the source program, that is the main program which you are written by you, that will be in high level language. So it may be any programming language which you have used, that will be considered as a source program, and the compiler will be there in between. So the compiler will be converting the source program into the machine language program. So here it is converting the source program into object program. So here it converting the high level language program into machine language. So once it is translated from high level language to machine language, the machine can understand it and it will be executing whatever I am expecting. Suppose I have given the command for printing some numbers, so it will be doing that operation. If I do the instructions for adding some addition operation I have given, or if I do some other calculations, so I have written some instructions for performing some set of actions, it will be doing the activities one by one. Next comes assembler, the set of the software that reads the program written in assembly language and translate into an equivalent program in machine language is called as assembler. We saw that there are two types of low level language, that is machine language and assembly language. So here the assembler, what it does, it converts the assembly language into an equivalent program in machine language. So here the assembler does from converting from assembly language to machine language. Earlier we saw that is compiler that converts the high level language to machine language. There are totally different. So you can refer this slide again. The compiler converts the high level language program into machine language. So that software is called compiler. And the assembler is the software that reads the program written in assembly language and translates it to an equivalent program in machine language. So that is called as an assembler. So in the diagram it is you might be getting an idea. So the source program, that is assembly language instructions are given to the assembler. The assembler will convert the assembly language into machine language. So it will be converting from source program, the source program whatever was written that was in assembly language, then assembler will convert the source program into object program, and the object program will be in machine language. So once it converts the instructions, now it will be in the machine language. The machine language can be understood by the computer. So we discussed about what is compiler, what is assembler, and also we discussed about the classification of software. In the classification of software, we discussed about the system software, then application software. Then the system software, we discussed that it can be converted, it can be further divided into operating system and utilities. Then in the application software, we discussed about generalized packages and customized packages. So we have learned about what is computer. I'm just reached the end of the session. So we will be discussing what we have learned till now. So first we discussed about what is computer. Computer is an electronic device that transforms the data into a meaningful information. So we read that the data, it can be anything. It can be in the name, age, sex, or it may be the class in which you are studying. It may be the school in which the students are studying. So those details will be considered as an data. So once we understood that what is computer, then we learned about the organization of the computer. Computer, it takes the input and it processes those input, then it will give you an output. So here for taking the input, it will be using some set of devices, then it will be processing the instructions. For processing, what it does, it will be it might be have to use arithmetic logical unit for converting or doing the operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or logical operations. Then it will be using the control unit for controlling the operations. Then for storing the informations, then we will be using the memory unit. Then comes output unit. The output unit is main purpose is that for giving the output. You can see the output, or if you want to take the printouts, or if you want to take the hard copy of the output, that also you can do. Then we discussed about what are the different types of output devices are there. In that we discussed about monitor, plotter, printer. Then we discussed about the different types of printers. In the different types of printer, we discussed about inkjet printer, laser printer, then laser printer, inkjet printer, and dot matrix printer. So each purposes of the printers are different. So it depends upon our need, we will be using the printer. So mostly if you want high quality image or something, then we can prefer to go for the inkjet printer. If you want good quality image but not an expensive, then you can prefer to go for the laser printer. If you want to go for the low quality printed image, then you can prefer to go for the dot matrix printer. And then we discussed about plotters, then speakers, then headphones. So these are some of the output devices we have learned. Then we started to discuss about what is software. As we know that a software is set of the instructions which we are giving it to the computer to perform some set of actions. So if I give some instructions to the computer, it does the job of executing those set of instructions. So that set of instructions what I have given to the computer is called software. The software has been further classified into two, that is system software and application software. Then we discussed the further classification of system software, that is operating system and utilities, and the application software. If you want to create a software for specific purpose, then you go for the application software. That can be further divided into generalized packages and customized packages. Then we discussed about computer languages. Computer languages can be low level language or high level language. The low level language, it can be machine language or assembly language. The high level language programs are the ones which we used to write. It's in normal English commands, English language commands we will be using in that. So we saw some of the examples like C, C++, C Sharp, those programming language will also come under the high level language. Even the basic programming language will come under the high level language. So once you are given the instructions to the computer, but computer has to understand and perform the actions. So how it will be doing that actions. So we need the translators. The translators are compiler and assembler. The compiler which will convert the high level language program into machine language. That is the program which you have written. That program will be converted by the compiler from high language to machine language. So that job is done by the compiler. Next comes assembler. The assembler will convert the assembly language program into machine language. So here the assembler does the job of converting from assembly language to machine language only. The compiler is high level language to machine language. So we discussed both about what are the different types of translators. So now I hope that you got a clear idea about what are the different types of input devices, what are the different types of output devices, what is the classification of the software, and what is translator, why we are using the translators. So once you got a clear picture about what is computer and how it works, now you will be familiar with working with other softwares. Thank you so much for watching.